Okay, so here's the cattail, everyone. We're gonna paint this cattail. And actually, let's use a longer brush. Let's use our long brush here. And what I want to do is create like a furry kind of transition from the cattail to the black part of the cattail to the white part. That's what I want to do. Let's see if I can actually do it. And I want to make it look kind of feathered. And I'm doing this mostly because in the illustration, that's how it looks. However, when you look at the sculpt of this model, it doesn't really have that transitioned feathery look, which I don't really like. Mary Trunks, why is Elden Ring inferior? Well, I mean, on the face of it, you have to consider that this was From Software's first open world game, so they're simply just not as good at as Rockstar, who've been doing it since like the PS2. But also, it's just a matter of like, as I was talking about earlier, it's a matter of like the interactions. There's just not really any interesting interactions in Elden Ring, in the same way that you can interact with the world of a GTA game, or even an Assassin's Creed game for that matter. I mean, I bought that game the same time as all of you guys, as Mojo and Bacon. I bought it at the same time, and yet I haven't finished it yet. And that is very, very odd for someone like me who really, really likes From Software games, for me to not have gotten this far, to not have beaten it. Mary Trunks, I played ER for a bit, and the world is too plain and dead feeling. Open world games have to have interactivity in life. Yeah, I'm with you on that. I feel like From Software is so well known for their games being desolate, barren, creepy wastelands that there was an obligation for them to do it again in Elden Ring. And I think there is a way. I think there's a way to make a game feel creepy and dead, and yet still have interactivity and still have some kind of life to it. I just don't personally know how to do that, because I'm not a game designer. Don't ask me. I'll beat it. I'll beat it someday. Someday soon. It's gonna happen. Just, I can't really foresee it happening this week or even next week. At this point, I feel like Night Trap is farther along in that game, so he might beat it before I do. And yeah, like I said, guys, I'm just painting this like fur. And we want to kind of make it blend. Let's just take this off here. Yeah, happy Wednesday, everyone. Hope you're all doing well. It's Hump Day. Don't know if anyone has Any plans for the weekend? Anything interesting going on? Are you just gonna chill and relax? I don't know if there's any holiday happening. I don't think so. I know Anime North just happened on the weekend, last weekend, and that was fun seeing Bacon go through his purchases and the stuff that he bought and his footage from Anime North. I could tell that he was very, very excited to be at Anime North. I mean, this is the first time that he's been to like a big event like this in a good long while, right? Thanks to COVID and everything. So yeah, you could see that he was just so excited to go around and see the sights and everything. Because his camera footage was so shaky, it was like his head. He's just his head looking around, darting around, looking at everything. Mojo, a lot of From Software games have great level design because of how multiple areas and biomes actually connect with one another. Right, right. And that's a really fun thing, seeing how they connect, right? Seeing how they connect and how you can look off in the distance from one place and say like, oh, okay, there's like a windmill here, cool. And then you play and you keep playing, and then like 12 hours later you're actually at the foot of that windmill, and then you look back from where you originally saw it and you're like, whoa, I've come so far. I have come so far. And you would think that a similar phenomenon like that would occur with Elden Ring, except now in an open world situation, but it doesn't feel that way because they've added fast travel, and so you never really feel that connectedness to the world in the same way that you feel it in other From Software games. And those games have fast travel as well, but often fast travel is kind of something you need to earn. I don't know, it feels different. It hits different. It hits different. Okay, so there we are. We're kind of creating that transition for the tail. Let's hydrate, guys. Let's hydrate. Wow. Bear Trunks. For example, in RDR2, there is so much life and interaction and interactive moments, like helping a stranger, robbing a store, and then police on your tail. Open worlds need to have some sort of society. Society. We need a society. We live in a society. Yeah, I'm with you on that. Yeah, it's all going back to what I was saying about interaction. And yeah, like having those moments kind of spontaneously arise or just occur in your travels. You're just sort of walking along, and then suddenly there's like a side quest that pops up. That doesn't really happen in Elden Ring, you know? Mojo, sometimes you can end up in a much later part in the game and take a turn and end up at the very beginning. Mind-blowing when it happens. Right. Yeah, in like the other old From Software games. Yeah. I love it. I love that. Alright, so now we gotta kind of work on the black part of the tail. And we're gonna kind of create these kind of downward strokes. I'm gonna try and create that feathered, furry feeling of the tail going from black to white. It's not like I've ever done this before. I'm just making this up as I go along. and I'm trying to make it match the box art, I guess. I'll check the chat in a second, guys. I just want to focus on this part here. Oop, that was a little too strong. If you make a mistake while you're painting, you can kind of just kind of dab it with your hand, with your finger, if the paint is still wet. But if you let it dry for too long, then you can't do that. It's kind of awkward to get this angle here. I think that's looking pretty good. I think if you were to look at this up close, it wouldn't look too great, but from a distance, it's fine. That's my plan. Everything will look good once it gets compressed into a JPEG online. When you look at it online, it'll look fine. All right. Let's get back to the lighter color here and kind of soften things out a bit more. And it's pretty wet, so it's okay. I'm gonna retire this brush soon too. It's kind of not great. It's never been the best. Or if not retire it, not use it for the purposes of detailing. Because yeah, I'm kind of not loving the results. Okay, and then we can kind of go with some black now, some straight black, and kind of do the same process, feathering it along. Yeah, I see. We've been talking about this a little earlier in the stream, just about the quality of the plastic for this model. It's not great compared to a Bandai model, and there's just something kind of more rubbery about it, which I really don't like. It just feels a little oily and greasy, maybe. I don't know. So that's another reason why you might want to stick to the brands that you know. I've never bought a model from this range before. And like I said, I think the quality of the plastic isn't great, but the end result of the model is still quite nice. But the manufacturers of this model, they have said that they are opening up a Japanese manufacturer, and maybe, just maybe, those will be better. It's interesting because we were talking about it earlier. Good Smile. So this is my second Good Smile model. My first was a Maidroid. The Maidroid. What's it called? Exoframe. And that was actually not bad. And that model was made in Japan. But this one is not. Okay, whatever. Good enough. Whew. So much work for a little tail. Here you go, guys. Just trying to make the tail a little softer. And looking at on the camera, I can see that I could probably make it a little better. So let's do that. Make the furry sort of lines more pronounced. Let's do that. And let's use our new brush. I bought a new package of brushes. Tamiya, a mixed pack of Tamiya brushes. Let's give this a whirl. This is a detail brush, fine brush. It's quite starchy, I can tell. Let's kind of soften up the brushes a little bit. And I also need more white paint. Is it white paint? Well, whatever. Let's just find something. Sorry, I'm mixing my paint off camera here. You guys can't see exactly what I'm doing. Alright, let's try this. I'm gonna try and make it a little more pronounced. Kind of just do these sweeping motions. Oh, it's so awkward to hold this thing because it's so small. Speaking of Bloodborne and From Software games, I have yet to play Sekiro. I'm gonna have to get around to that at some point because it looks like a game that I might enjoy compared to Elden Ring, because it is a contained adventure sort of thing. All right, well, let's take a look at this tail again. Yeah, we've kind of created the feathered furry look a bit. I might try and work on it a bit more, but I think that's okay. Better than when it started.